Hi, everyone. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Leeyen. I lead a team that's very much international all around the world in Young Living. And I'm happy to be here today to work with you through Byron Katie's The Work. And I'm just going to be really casual today. I am recovering from COVID and trust that everything is going to go just okay. So we're here because of our visions, because of our dreams, correct? Being a brand partner with Young Living. And many times we kind of get to points in this journey where we start questioning ourselves. And maybe there's certain thoughts that keep us in a mode of suffering. If you ever have those moments, please type in the chat. Let me know that this is going to be relevant for you. All of us have, certain beliefs that take us through our days, our lives, and sometimes they are they're always trying to keep us safe and alive, but sometimes they're not as supportive. They're not really, we're not really being friends with our mind. Our mind is always in battle with us. Who feels that? Yeah. So Byron Katie was a lady that was really bogged down by her own thoughts and beliefs. And one day she just woke up and she just kind of decided not to allow it to happen anymore. And she devised this way for very simple questions. But so let's just form our thoughts first that we can work on. And so if you have a paper, a pen, or just use your computer, that's fine too. And before we do that, just wanted to use an oil. So I want to use clarity here, and you can use any oil. I have believe, gratitude, acceptance, common sense, and vision. But for now, I think I need clarity. And this will help as we tap into that part of our brain that holds our unconscious beliefs and allow it to come forth. This is very much a meditative process. And so it's nice to use essential oils with that. So go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. Inhale deeply with me. Okay, so as Jill said, June is here. We're all fired up. Summer is that season of fire and growth, and we want to make sure that our thoughts are not in our way. So my first question to you is, as you're thinking about what growth you want to see this summer, what comes into your mind that is a thought you can form that is pretty much about something else out there that is stopping you from this growth? I was just reading the comments. So you can type in the comment, you can ask me any questions, but I can give you an example here. So we always want to frame it in a way that something else is blocking us, right? And part of our growth as Young Living brand partners is this idea of being coachable. And so I was referring to Loving What Is from Byron Katie. And one of a thought that we could work on is my kids should not be out of school during the summer, because like this is my season of growth. Whatever it is that you sense that is blocking you right now. So just take a moment and come up with a sentence. I'm going to type the name of the book in here. So this is very much a interactive session. I'm hoping that you will truly walk away with a blast into that tight belief you have that, you know, could be from past programming, could be from our need to control, could be from this feeling of just not being in control. So does anybody have something you want to share, like a block for this summer's growth for you? Never ending to-do list. Okay. Okay. Great. That's all great. Yes. Yeah. I've never done well in summer. I'm afraid I won't have the right answer. I'm afraid to meet new people. People think our products are too expensive. Okay. So write that down on a piece of paper and just allow it to just really sink in. And I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give a few more minutes. And, you know, if you have more than one, just allow it to keep coming out. And we can just pick one that seems the most charged. And that's when now they're flowing. Yeah. Because we can have a lot of thoughts, but the thoughts are not really the problem, because we're made to think, and we'll just keep thinking no matter what. The problem is when we start to attach with that thought and we create a story around it, and we start to feel this sense of pain when we think about it. And so it could be completely, you know, sensible. Yeah, my husband has a lot he needs me to do, and I'm okay with it. But if it's really causing us suffering, then let's question that thought. Okay. Whew, all this is kind of heavy. All right. So does everybody have a good thought to work with? Does anybody kind of have a wish to ask whether their thought is relevant or applicable? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so my first question to you is your thought true? And I want you to really give this justice. Just sit with it. Is it true? And just go ahead and type in the chat what you, yeah, feels true, but it's not a truth. Unfortunately, it's true. Okay. Seems to be true. Yeah. Okay. And that's completely in line. That's why we're questioning this belief, because it may feel true to you because you're seeing it from your own belief state. And the opposite could also completely be true. But now I want you to really sit with it. And I'm going to ask you this question again. Can you absolutely know that it is true? And so it's not so much the fact, it's the fact that this fact is going to stop you from your summer growth. Okay, so don't mistake the two, because you can argue with me till the cows come home that it is a fact and it's true, But I think what we're really talking about here is your belief that this fact is going to hurt your growth this summer or your growth as a brand partner. Can you absolutely know it's true, Therese? I know you said it twice, just to be sure. Okay, what was your statement? One of the things this digs deep into is how do we really know whether something is absolutely true or not? And truth is very subjective. It can be true for you, but not for the person you're talking to about Young Living. So if that is a block to you, then let's question it, right? So Therese is saying, I am ashamed of my family history, and it's absolutely true. I'm asking you to see it from this point of view of, is your family history that is the resistance to growth as a brand partner? And you are almost wanting to, this thought that we're working on, you're almost wanting to say that if I didn't have that, then I would be successful. Okay. Okay. Fear tells me it's true, but fear doesn't have to be a liar. Okay. So let's move on. We're getting curious here. Okay. So just play with me. Okay. Just allow yourself to not have this thought and ask yourself, think of a very recent situation that this came up as a problem for you. And with that in mind, think about how you would have reacted differently, both to yourself and to the other, if you didn't believe this thought. So maybe for Susie, it might be, okay, so first step, think about a very specific situation that this thought was relevant to your business as a brand partner. Okay, so let's say Jill's thought was, I'm afraid to meet, or I don't meet new people. Right. Okay. So there she goes. If I didn't believe this thought, I would be fearless in approaching people who I know need what I have. So the thought that stopped her was that she was fearful to meet new people. So think about your thought and how you would react if you did not have, if you do not believe this thought. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Yes. The past will be left behind. I have so many modalities to offer. I love that, Therese. Yes. Mm-hmm. So on the one hand, when we believe this thought, we feel shame, we feel fear, we feel less confident, right? And then on the other hand, when we don't believe this thought, and we're just playing with it, we're just allowing our brain to tap into that neuroplasticity. Because when we start to allow for new situations to emerge, we are actually creating new neural pathways. And our previous thoughts of any belief is really deeply ingrained with the myelin sheaths just really nicely, tightly packed, and just allowing ourselves to just blast through that just for a moment actually helps our brain to create new pathways. You feel like there are thousands of people who need to hear what you have to say. Right. So there are two sides to it. If we believe this, we feel pain, we feel suffering, we feel shame. And if we don't, then there's all these beautiful things you guys are saying. You would somehow convince them they could afford it and gasoline and food. And you are, okay. So Robin was saying, I struggle with the feeling pushy when financial strain is the issue. It has taken me years to build my business to take the edge off the family budget. So telling them flippantly to build a business to get their products paid for doesn't seem true to me. And you follow your heart, Robin, because you don't say what doesn't feel true to you. Yeah. And Deb says, I want to attract positive people that can easily duplicate, not babysit those that say one thing and do another. Okay. So now, so you have tapped into how you feel without the thought. Okay. Now we're going to do an exercise of turning this thought around. Again, just building new neural pathways. So we're going to do 3 times of 3. So we're going to turn it to the opposite. So for example, let's pick someone's statement. Okay, Gail says, people don't listen to what I have to say. So we're going to turn it to the other. And that's a simple, people do listen to what I have to say, for instance. So let's write that down as one of the possible turnarounds. And another possible turnaround of that is, I don't listen to what I have to say. Another turnaround for that is, I don't listen to what other people have to say. So come up with 3 turnarounds for your statement. So a simple way to think about it is you're turning it around to the other person, to yourself, and then the subject. And this is where it gets interesting, because it doesn't have to make sense. So let me give you another example. Okay, Tonya says, no builder to be found. It can be, so no, I found, well, the simple one is, right, a builder is to be found. found a builder, like the word can be where, so it's like finding no builder is like, I am finding, no, that's a difficult one to do. Hold on. So you can turn it to yourself. It's like, I found no builder. No builder finds me. Right? So just allow yourself to play with the nouns and all of that in there. Okay. Finding a builder is not impossible, correct? Yep. There's a builder waiting for me. Ah, you guys are amazing. Okay, so now with every three of those, we're gonna go through each and find three scenarios in which that statement could be true. And the scenarios are ones that you have personally experienced in your life. So I will not find builders where I don't look. That's a good one. Yeah. And so let's say one of the statement is, I am attracting business builders. Now think of three scenarios around that was true, right? Just allow yourself to tap into your brain space for a minute. I'm going to be quiet. And if you have questions, do type them in. What if you don't know of a scenario where it has been true? Well, so let's hear your example, Christy. Christy, I was just saying, let's hear your example. Yes, it can be an example that's happened for someone else. It's just something you are aware of. Yeah, Christy, I was just responding to your question. What if you don't know of a scenario where it has been true? And I was just asking if you wanted to share. My summers have never been good for my business. Okay. What was your turnaround? So let's just work on my summers have been good for my business. Okay. And you're saying, well, that's never happened. Summer is great for my business. So then let's say we're investigating this. Do you want to unmute yourself? We can talk about it. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry. So let's just say you can tell me what season is good for your business. Yes, do you want to unmute Christy?
Okay, did that work?
Yes. Okay, Christy. So I'm going to ask you a question about the possibility that this statement could be true. 3 scenarios. So let's say in the year that around Thanksgiving, you had a good season for your business. Can you think of any reason that your Thanksgiving business was good because of something you did during summer?
Typically, my Thanksgiving season is good because people are buying Christmas gifts. So that's not necessarily something I've done.
Right. But it could also be, did you deepen a relationship with some of these customers during summer?
I think I see what you're saying, that like I taught people about the oils, so they wanted to use them for Christmas gifts.
Right.
I guess that's a possibility. I never really thought about it that way, but it's a possibility.
Yes. Would you agree with me that people don't just think of you overnight to buy Christmas gifts if they haven't heard from you at other times throughout the year?
Yes, I would definitely think that's true.
Okay. So maybe the difficulty for you here is how you define business is good, right?
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So will you carry on and think about more options, or do you want to talk more about that? More scenarios.
So you're saying find things that have happened not in that season to be my scenario. It doesn't match the season, but in other times that I have been successful without worrying about the season.
Oh, I am saying that sentence, summer is great for my business, can be true because you are seeing the results in the fall.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So allow yourself to expand beyond this idea of my business is only successful when I see the purchases, because maybe whatever you're doing in summer is actually leading to those purchases in the fall.
Okay. I can
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. All right. So do we all have 3 scenarios for the first statement, and then the second statement, and then the third statement? I would love to hear if this is going well for you. It'll take some time. I want you to just be really patient with yourself. But I would love to help anyone else who wants to chat about it. Oh, good, Terry. That's great to hear. So Linda, yes. So even as we're thinking about inflation, right? Gas, groceries, utilities versus wild products. Understand that there are millions of people out there. There are some that are really struggling and some that are not at all. So just ask yourself, who do you focus on? What do you focus on? And so when you're asking what about gas and groceries and utilities versus wild products, well, maybe you can expand on that question, Dawn. Because I can also spout statistics to you where housing sales are going through the roof, and there are record numbers of people employed. Mm-hmm. So Melissa, you struggle with promoting the income opportunity because you have struggled to make an income from the lack of energy. But you want to? So first get clear on what you want. Because whatever we want is what we put our energy into. And when we speak something and yet our body feels something else because we're contradicting ourselves, then our brain goes into this freeze like, I'm sorry, what is it you want again? Because I can't hear you right. So need to suppress the negative thoughts telling me I can't do this. Yeah, well, part of it, Melissa, is that all of us started with not making money. But then it goes back to what is our intention for doing this? Because the money comes as we start to really live that intention. And so, Melissa, what was your statement that you're working with? Yeah, Ningxia, you need Ningxia. Need some energy? Have some Ningxia. So if some of you feeling a little, okay. So Melissa's statement was, others close to me don't believe in me and I can't progress in my business. Okay, so Melissa, do you believe in yourself? And do you need the ones close to you to believe in you for you to progress in your business? In fact, go ahead and tell me like you struggle with self-belief. Yeah. So the first question is it true that we need their belief for us to progress? No, no, not true. Okay. So second question, how do we treat ourselves if we believe that we need their validation to progress in this business? And I mean, I can almost feel your pain, because if we believe that we need their belief, then it's a painful ride, because we are constantly trying to live up to someone else's belief of who we should be. Now, how did you feel when you tapped into that possibility of what it would feel like if you didn't need them and you didn't believe that's true? A sense of relief and confidence, yes. So allow yourself to feel that. Allow yourself to go there as often as you need. And so if you had in this very moment the choice to feel pain and suffering versus relief and confidence, which would you choose and why? And if we're choosing pain and suffering, then admit it. I choose pain and suffering. And maybe you'll get tired of it one day and say, I am walking away from that. I no longer choose to feel pain and suffering. But for as long as we need to, in order to convince ourselves that it's time to move on, then we have to embrace it. Because as long as we're in battle with ourselves, we're always going to have one foot really, really hard on the brake and the other foot on the pedal going so fast. And our rubbers are just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And that's why you're out of energy. Who can relate? So that foot on the brake, like, can you just experiment with letting it off slowly? And see how it feels. Maybe be gentle on yourself and say, today my foot needs a break. A break from the brake. Okay, so I know you don't like feeling the conflict with your beliefs. So for sure, it's not about I guess, arguing. It's not at all about arguing. It's about truly believing in your own worth, in receiving the respect that you show yourself so that others know how to treat you. If we don't treat ourselves with respect, then others are not really taught how we should be treated. And, you know, presumably they have not succeeded in the network marketing business. So part of it too is, who do you allow to really judge you or give input to who and what you should be or do. And yes, I know they're close family members, so you maybe believe they have a right. But there is this idea that love is not just love is not about controlling other people, right? Love is about being there and supporting each other through, you know, life's journey. And so ultimately, if it becomes a huge issue, it has to be a family meeting, a family negotiation about what's important to you and what you need to speak as is important to you, without inciting an argument. It doesn't have to be who's right or who's wrong. It's like, this is how I feel. This is the time I would like to be given so I can pursue a dream of mine. I love all these side conversations. So this exercise doesn't have to take so long. I was just kind of hoping to make sure to talk over if everybody has anybody has any issues. But really, so you come into this place of turning it around and giving your brain this expanded version of what could be possible. And so you have three examples of each scenario. And at the end of it, you sit with it and you sit with your original statement and you ask yourself again, is this really a belief of mine that I will allow to control my life? Or have I been shown that there are different perspectives around this issue? Okay, so I'm happy to take any final questions. This is, by the way, something you can download on thework.com. And she has the worksheets on there, and you can really work on any belief you have that you feel is blocking you from going forward in your business. And the truth is, it's all very situational. And so we may have already, ranked up in Young Living and gotten through a lot, but there's always something that will pop up, and it's okay. We're not perfect, but what we want to be is coachable. What we want to be is to have that neuroplasticity. And again, it's very different to be coachable and yet to need, say, validation from some other person on whether we're doing okay. We work on our intuitive sense. Every time we feel pain and suffering, understand there's something there. Let's work on it. Yeah. Thank you, Andriana. All right. So you're so welcome, everyone. I am happy just to be able to show up for you, and would love to see y'all again in the future. You can always follow me on my Instagram. It's at Leeyen Anderson. And I also work on emotional wisdom with essential oils with Carolyn Mine, the author of the Blue Book. We teach courses and train coaches as well. We actually have an event on June 18th at the convention, a side event. It's not part of Young Living Convention, but if you want to join us, the ticket is on my website, and we're offering both virtual and in-person tickets. So that is available to you. I also run retreats. We always use oils at my retreats. They're pretty much spiritual growth, personal growth retreats. And yeah, the website here, let me do this again, leeyenanderson.com. Yeah. And yes, so Facebook, also Leeyen Anderson. And I have both a private page and a public page. So go ahead and look for me on there. And my oils page is at Sensible Tribe, both on Instagram and Facebook. So thank you, everyone.